have to be honest, when I decided to design my very first knitting pattern, I thought that I would need like a fancy big setup, and like surely there's some designer portal or some secret app that only pattern users use, right? But like, spoiler alert, there's not. Or if there is, nobody's told me about it yet. But I'm making it work, and today I'm walking you through the exact tools, apps, and honestly just like regular normal things that I'm using to bring this project that I'm working on to life. Hey guys, I'm Ashley from Ashley Corinne Studio. I am a knit and crochet designer here in sunny South Florida and a mom of 2 little toddler boys, so my workspace is either sticky or covered in yarn or sometimes both. But I love making new fiber arts friends, so thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to hit subscribe so we can hang out each and every week. So let's start with the basics, because I thought I would need like some high-end equipment, but here's what I'm actually using to design my very first knit pattern. First, I would say my most used tool is probably my husband's iPad, which is tricky because he uses it for work, so I can only use it at nights or on the weekends. But there's an app in there called Procreate, and I don't think it's actually for knitters, and I don't think it's free, but he had it for work. So I finally started like charting out to my heart's content all of the different designs that have been in my mind and that I have been sketching out. And I like this part because it's kind of like color by number or like a coloring book, but definitely make sure that you make a new layer for each new motif or chart so that you can move them around. It makes it a lot easier in the long run, I promise. And then I made a separate page for my final design and copy pasted over all of my charts so that I could rearrange them and move them around over and over and over and over and over until I was finally happy with the finished product. Then I went to the next app that I'm going to tell you about. So the next tool that I used is one that I actually had heard of before. It's called Stitch Fiddle, and I'm using it now that my design is actually finalized. I believe that it started out as a tool for cross stitch, but it is definitely used by knitters, and I think it even has like a knitting button that you can press when you are making a new chart. It is, I think, free and paid. I'm using the paid version right now so that I can make as many as I want and use as many colors as I want. But if you want to just mess around with it and experiment, there is a free version, and honestly it does what you need. But basically I put in all of my custom colors that I had been using in Procreate into Stitch Fiddle. I could also make it black and white so it'll print with symbols, which I really like, and I started putting the chart together, the official version, so that I could export it and put it into the PDF pattern. So that one I've used quite a bit. And then the last app that I've used is totally free, and you probably have it on your phone right now. It's actually the Notes app. I like that Notes just lets me scroll down all my ideas. Sometimes I'm running around with my kids, but I'm like, oh my gosh, and I have an idea, and I voice text it into Notes, or you can even like sketch in there some ideas. So if you just don't want to forget something, pull out the Notes app. If you have a piece of paper on you and a pen, that's great, but I just oftentimes all I have is my phone. So Notes app has come in handy big time in the past few months. Honestly, I thought there was some special formula to designing a pattern, but it really is just one step at a time and whatever you have in front of you. I have Googled so much, I've tested, I've frogged, and I'm still figuring it out as I go. So if you've ever thought about designing your own patterns, these are some tools that I think might be helpful for you to use, but if you just love seeing behind the scenes, that's awesome too. Either way, I'm happy to have you guys following along this process as I release my first knitting pattern in just a couple months. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next weekly update, and tell me in the comments if you made it this far. Are you a pen and paper kind of person, or do you like to use digital tools? Because for me, it's just whatever I have right in front of me at the moment. Either way, I'm glad you're here.